Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Williams. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is, at Egberto Williams. Let us engage. It is politics done right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Williams, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. Now, for those of you who are my regular listeners, you know that's always how I start the show. We're going to have a great show, but you know why? That is because we are going to have a great show. We ensure of that because what? The difference between Politics Done Right and the news media is that we are unfiltered. We have no loyalties but to you, because this is your show. Politics Done Right belongs to you, and as such you can control the direction of the show in one of many ways. You can also always tweet us, you can always send us an email, and of course you can always call in. The telephone number is 646-716-5812. If you're listening on podcast, of course the show has already happened, but if you're listening to it live, which we have thousands of people who listen to it live, both on Facebook Live, on as well on KPFT 90.1 FM, as well as on Blog Talk Radio, you get a chance to participate actively, lively, whenever you want to. But folks, please do remember, if you are just joining us, please go ahead and share the show. Share the show. The way we are going to make a change, the way we are going to make a progressive change is if we are able to reach as many people as possible. What is done by our plutocracy today, by our oligarchy today, by the establishment of the parties today, is they make sure that you get limited cooked information. What that means is they both give you information that falls within two small rails, the left rail and the right rail. But you know what's the thing with the rails? They are all moving in the same direction. Is that what you want? Is that what we voted for? Is that what's going to make life better for all of us in this country? Absolutamente no. Nunca pasará así. It will never happen that way. It will never be that way. If you're just joining us, folks, please go ahead and share us on your Facebook Live. Welcome aboard, Philip. Philip Aronoff. Welcome aboard. And please, folks, again, we ask you to share. We're going to have a great show. Of course, today we're going to talk about the subject that I decided to talk about came about when somebody sent me a little notice here, and everybody's talking about Trump, and Trump is a racist and all these bad things about Trump. And here's the thing, I don't give a rat's what about Trump and what he stands for, or whether he's racist or not. I am not trying to be Trump's friend. Are you? Do you really care? The only thing that we should, I'll cover that in our blog of the week, and I'll cover that also as we go on with the show. But folks, if you're just joining us, please share this on your wall, share this on your page, share this on Twitter, tweet it, do everything with it. Why? That is the only way we get our message out. Why is it that, when you look at the big ABC, CBS, and all these big companies, remember, you cannot hear the unfiltered truth from them. The reason why things go as far as they get, the reason why that people vote against their own interests, it's not that people are bad people. It's not that people are stupid people. We are an overworked society that gets information when we can, and most of the times we get the information from ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, Fox News, all these different channels. And guess what? I don't care if you're getting it from those channels that consider themselves liberal, in the middle, or to the right, or the far right. Those who are sitting back there getting advertising from major corporations, the fact of the matter is they're limited to what they can tell you, because our goal is to keep this particular structure in America alive the way it is. And if it's kept alive the way it is, we will continue to see the consequences that we have. Share this as you log in, as you tune in. I ask that you share this. I promise you, You won't be disappointed in the things we discuss. And if you start to get disappointed, there is always a telephone number for you to call, 646-716-5812. You can be a part of the program. You can tell us. You can have your own point of view on air. That's the thing about politics done right. We don't discriminate. Are you on the far right? I don't care. Are you on the far left? I don't care. Are you an anarchist? I don't care. Are you a KKK person? I don't care. There's one caveat with the KKK folks who come on air, though. You have to be factual. As long as you're factual, it's okay. So here, listen, let me tell you something. Well, the truth of the matter is I hold everybody to account kindly. I am very nice with our callers. And for those of you who've been with us for a long time, know that this is likely one of the most civil programs you are going to find on air. And that is because I respect everybody. If you have the wherewithal to come and listen to what we're talking about, I am due respect to you. Of course, we demand the same as well, that when you call into the show, you're respectful on the show, because that is how we roll. We are going to make change only when we speak to each other and not at each other. And that is something I firmly believe in. So if you're just joining us, folks, I ask you to once again share our program. Welcome aboard Sue Williams. Welcome aboard my brother Rudnick. Welcome aboard Philip Arnoff, and those that I'm missing. Sorry about that. Okay, look, all this stuff about Trump now. Today, Trump is dominating the news again. And before I get into the program, I want to warn everybody, okay? All of these tactics, don't think Republicans are so down because Trump's in the dumper right now. Don't think that. Here's the reality. They really don't mind what's happening with Trump now. They don't want their base to know that they're pretty darn happy with what's happening with Trump. Trump is a beat away from the possibility of impeachment. Finally, impeachment is a possibility from a legal standpoint, meaning there is enough evidence now that shows this guy is a thug. There is enough evidence out there now that can be proved, that will prove to even many of his supporters, not all, but many, that the guy is a common mobster, a common thug. That's who's running America right now. And there is a good possibility a lot of his followers will see that as well. Now that things are coming to pass, yes, they're going to be the diehards. But what I want to tell you guys is do not be fooled and do not take your eye off of the ball. Because as everybody only talk about what's going on, the legal problems that Donald Trump is in, we are forgetting that Americans have to live. We're forgetting that in October, Americans are going to get their new rates for health insurance. We are forgetting that in October, a lot of people are going to start feeling the pain of these of these loss in services that are starting or going to occur. We are forgetting all the environmental damage that is proceeding as we completely and entirely hyperventilate about all Trump's legal problems. The decimation of our society continues. And what I'm saying is, let's keep our eye on the ball. Let's really keep our eye on the ball, because this is good for Republicans. Don't think that they're all out. Even if they lose the Congress, they're not all that this unhappy. Why are they not all that unhappy? Because all their destructive policies that help these dirty corporations are coming to pass. And guess what? With all the noise that Trump is creating for himself, nobody is knowing the decimation. Nobody's realizing that, oh my God, we can dump a whole lot more soot in the air with the new plans from Donald Trump. Nobody is listening to we can further damage the water supply. Nobody is listening to, oh my God, the new healthcare the new healthcare interpretations are allowing junk insurance policies to be sold for just under a year now, which means most Americans now that go ahead and go on Obamacare or go on the Affordable Care Act site and they see, oh my God, I'm going to be paying $1,000 for insurance. But guess what? John Peter Insurance Company is selling an insurance policy for a family of 4 for $350. Oh wow, that is good. To hell with Obamacare, to hell with the Affordable Care Act. John Doe is selling that great old policy. Folks, there is so much happening that all this news about Trump is extinguishing coverage on these issues. I've written about them. I continue to write about the ACA. I continue to write about the Trump effect. I continue to write about the Trump ACA effect and all these things on the blogs that I write at egbertowillies.com, because we have to stay aware. Yes, listen to what's occurring to Donald Trump. Listen to what's occurring. Listen to the problems that he's in, but do not consume yourself with that. Because no matter whatever happens to Donald Trump, when it's all over, nothing changes for you. We hate Donald Trump. We love Donald Trump. If Donald Trump comes and goes, nothing changes for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not going to jail. Donald Trump is a former president. The worst that's going to happen to Donald Trump is that he's going to get a pardon from Pence. The same scenario again. So, folks, I want you to do this. First of all, I want you, if you're just coming in now, share this program. I want folks to stop hyperventilating about Trump. Because there are much bigger issues that materially affect our personal economies. Your kids going to college. What has Trump changed that could affect your kids going to college? How does the tax cut scam that was passed affect your personal economy, your Social Security, your Medicare, your Medicaid? How does it affect you? I write about all of that in several blogs that I've written. So I want us to stay focused. Understand what's happening to Trump, and it's great for all of us who know that Trump is a thug and that was getting a pass. We are happy to see that just maybe enough is coming out that will convince a whole lot of his people that after all, he's nothing more than a common mobster, a common thug. But it's not enough. Because in as much as that's what he is, that common thug allowed all the pieces and all the wards of the plutocracy below him to destroy our environment, to destroy our health care, to destroy our Social Security, meaning a social safety net. So let's, folks, be aware and understand how you must vote. Hi, Kathleen Morgan. Understand how you must vote in order to start the recovery process. And it was easy to tear down. It's very much more hard. It's much harder to build up. So the build-up has to begin. He's 2 years into the administration. The build-up has to occur now, folks. The build-back has to occur now. You have to be responsible. Here in Texas, the Great Suppression has begun. I just got a notice from the chair of the Harris County Democratic Party. 4,000 people. The Republicans took 4,000 people. They challenged it. It's a part of the law in Texas. Voter suppression, very active here. 4,000 people in our county got challenged who registered to vote. And they were suspended from the rolls. We don't know who they are yet. The process is now going to find them so that we can contact them and ensure that they are re-registered or registered correctly to vote. That is what we're talking about, folks. It's not only the help of the Russians corrupting our elections by trying to break in and help the Republicans. It's also the Republicans directly using the laws that they passed to suppress the vote. It's happening in Texas. It's happening in Kansas. It is happening every part of this country, and you have to make a difference. You have to call it out. What difference can you make? I'll tell you what differences you can make. You can write articles for your local paper. You can write articles online in the op-eds of your local paper. Some of the papers in more red areas are going to censor you. So what you have to do is find clever ways of letting people know what happened, to encourage them to check their voting. I've already started writing the Texas blog here that's going to tell people, please, folks, we need more of you to register as volunteer deputy registrars, volunteer deputy voter registrars. We are already writing notes to tell people you've got to go out and do that. And we're also asking volunteers to go down to your party headquarters and help them find these people who were thrown off the rolls. That's your job. That's our job. Now, before I get into the phone, I see there's somebody online. I'm going to go to, if you want to speak, the person that's holding online right now, if you want to speak, you have to press the number 1 so that I can get an indication that you're not just listening, but that you want to talk. So if you want to talk, press the number 1. I'll see an indication that you want to talk. That is a person on line 1. Excellent. I'll come to you in a minute. There's some other things that I need to discuss. And folks, it's like, again, I'm asking you, share the program, share the program, share the program. Because we are talking some very important information here. Very important. This is imperative for progressives. We have a woman running for governor in Texas on the Democratic Party, a Latina. Her name is Lupe Valdez. I interviewed Lupe Valdez a couple weeks ago. I gave her the full hour at KPFT 90.1 FM Houston and interviewed her. She gave a wonderful interview. This is a wonderful woman who has history, who is a born Texan with history in Texas, who knows how it is to be poor and who knows how it is to grow up and lift and gets a bit of help, but also help lift herself up. She became the first woman and Latina sheriff in Dallas County in Texas. I mean, in Texas, that's not an easy task. So my national listeners, that is the kind of woman we have running for governor of Texas. The person who is in office right now, Greg Abbott, is the guy who has murdered, and listen to what I'm saying, I'm qualifying it as murdered Texans on a yearly basis by denying them health care that is already paid for. Texans have already paid for the health care of millions of Texans that are going without it because of ideological reasons. Because our current governor says, I rather see Texans dead. I rather see Texans dead than to accept the Medicare expansion to the Affordable Care Act. I repeat, if that is not murder, I don't know what it is. Had those Texans received the health care that our federal government provided for free for the first 3 years and then at 10% for every subsequent year thereafter, thousands of Texans who are dead today would be alive. Who then is responsible for the death of those Texans right now? And if you are responsible for the death of another person, is that not called murder? We have a Republican Party in Texas that is murdering its citizens on a daily basis for every day that they deny them health care provided by the Medicaid expansion to the Affordable Care Act. Remember that, promote that, write about that, blog about that. If you're a Texan in the Texas blogging network or you're a single blogger on your own, this is D-Day. This is the time we take and make Texas blue again. This is the day, starting now, that you play a part. We should be seeing articles all over the place. I will be doing my part. Please, my dear brothers and sisters, do your part. If you're in another state, talk about Texas. Talk about the evils within Texas, because people in Texas read publications from all over the country. So you write about it. You write about the great things happening in California healthcare-wise, in Massachusetts healthcare-wise, and how your indigent can get care as well, while Texas kills its own. Write these articles. Make these articles permeate the blogosphere. Because what we need to happen, folks, is when Texans look up Texas healthcare or Texas or healthcare or Affordable Care Act Texas, that they see that their own Republican government is killing not just Democrats, not just progressives. They're killing Republicans, Democrats, Christians, Muslims, agnostics, everybody. They're killing them. And they're killing them by denial. Folks, let's get real. Line number 1, I'm coming to you, 832. Who do I have the honor of speaking with?
Hi, this is Matthew.
832, you're on.
Yes. Oh, hello?
It would help if I put my hairpiece in. Are you there, 832?
Yes, hello.
Come on in, my friend.
You were talking about helping, and in 2016 there was an organization in Houston, Drive for Democracy.
Yes.
And I'm ashamed to admit I didn't participate then, but I was hoping that they would be doing something this year. But when I check out their information, it's not been updated. And I was hoping maybe, since you're more on the inside of that type of stuff, if you would know if that's happening again, or
Okay, I don't know particularly.
Like, for the polls.
Right. I don't know particularly about that organization, sir. But what I can tell you is there's so many progressive organizations on the ground right now that if you want to get involved and start working with them, that you can. I mean, we need help all over the place. Let me give you a few. There's a group called indivisiblehouston.com. You can go to indivisiblehouston.com. They meet. In fact, I'm one of the members. I'm on the board at indivisiblehouston.com. You can go to that site and you can register so that you can get our emails, and you would be informed when we're meeting locally to hear. I'm assuming that you're here in Houston. If you're not here in Houston, Indivisible is all over the country. There are several chapters in every county, and many counties, like even Houston, has several chapters that you can actually integrate yourself into the group and do something positive to help the progressive movement. There's also Swing Left. Swing Left is a great organization that they are doing a whole lot of block walking right now in Texas, in Houston, Harris County specifically. Just look up swingleft.com and you'll be directed to them. I tell you, if you leave me a note under the, if you drop me a line either at info@egbertowillies.com, I can give you direct contact for any one of these organizations. There's also Pantsuit Republic right here in Houston as well, and it's also a full text. It covers the entire Texas as well. Pantsuit Republic, another great organization run by some great women that will assist you as far as being able to help in whatever fashion. And then, of course, you can always go to the party, the Harris County Democratic Party. If you're in Harris County, if you're elsewhere, just seek out your local Democratic Party. Now, what I'm telling people, the people that I'm advising right now, I am advising that they work through the progressive groups. The party can handle its own, but the progressive groups are what's going to talk to people that generally the party forgets about. And that is who we need to win Texas, the other people. Anything else you want to add, my dear friend?
I was just curious. They had, the reason I'd heard about them was through KPFT,
right?
During last election cycle, and they seem to help people who get to the polls who couldn't, but their website's still talking about 2016.
Right.
So that's obviously not very helpful.
Right. Well, go to indivisiblehouston.com. And when all those things for setting up rides, all of that, we are going to have all those things going. But the thing about it is, you found us, we found you as somebody who's willing and ready to help. And by the way, for all our national listeners, this is the kind of stuff that we all want to be doing, and we all should be doing. What is your name, sir?
That's Matthew.
Matthew.
Called in a couple times.
Right, just as Matthew's doing here. Matthew is finding a way to get engaged, to play his part in winning, not for Matthew, but winning for the progressive cause. Anything else you want to add, Matthew, before I go to the blog of the week?
No, that was it was just on topic. I was going to send you a message directly, but since it was on topic for what you talked about, I thought I'd chime in.
Excellent, Matthew. But and also remember, though, you can always send me a note. This is this program belongs to all of you guys, man. So you can send me a note every time, and I oblige. I respond to everything that people send me. Sometimes I'm late because I'm into a whole lot of stuff, but I always get back to you guys because you guys are the ones that really matter. Thank you so kindly for calling, Matthew.
Thank you.
All right, folks, look. I gave you the story about healthcare in Texas, and I also gave you what I hope to be kind marching orders, no matter what part of the country you're in. Whatever part of the country you're in, you can help Texas, you can help Kansas, you can help Alabama, you can help Mississippi, you can help Louisiana, you can help North and South Dakota, Montana. You can help all these places. Just find out a little bit about how their healthcare is going. and you can write a letter, and you can write an op-ed, no matter what paper it is, no matter what online, or send it into these newspapers. Because, folks, the most important thing people need right now is truthful information. That is what people need right now. Truthful information. They need to be informed truthfully so that they can make objective decisions. When they are informed truthfully, it's not at all difficult to sell our message. It is not at all difficult to sell our message because truth is what we're talking about. Truth. Nada más hablamos la verdad. We only speak the truth. We only speak the truth. But folks, do you know what time it is? And you know, I'm about to say, I'm going to go to the blog of the week. And I just forgot one important fact. And that's the blog of the week that I'm reading today is going to be the blog, a front page blog at Daily Kos, which means I can't even access it from my website. I have to go to the queue at Daily Kos to see it because it's quarantined. So what I'd like to tell you guys is bear with me as I pull that up in the queue. I'm going to try to get that out of the queue. Come on, queue, where are you? Got to get it out of the queue at Daily Kos so that I can read the blog of the week. And then please remember to visit Daily Kos on Sunday because that's when it is posted. So what I'm going to say to you is, folks, do you know what time it is?
It's time.
Okay, the title of the weekly blog post for today is This Black Capitalist, BET's Robert L. Johnson, proves a race class point. And I want you to listen to this. Folks, I really want you to listen to this. And why this is important, right? There's always a debate as far as about racist voters for Trump and all of that. And some people want to hammer into a lot of folks' heads, specifically the Democratic establishment, or progressives specifically want to hammer into the Democratic establishment that they need to stop looking at making excuses for the white working class voter because the problem is really has nothing to do with class or economy, but that they're just racist. And the thing about it is, while that is true, I think that misses the point. I really don't care that there are racists in the world. I really don't care that many of my friends are racist. I really don't care. I honestly don't care. Because I know racism is an illness, right? Because it is based on stupidity. So if I get all tied up and I change policy and I change the way I do things because of that, we've ultimately missed the point. And my contention is that that is what a lot of folks are doing right now. I want to say racism is a fact. Our president is a racist. How much more you want to know about that? But it's a bit deeper than that. And my brother, the black capitalist BET's Robert L. Johnson, I'm going to use to sort of make the point, and I hope the point that I'm making is going to go through. And I hope I was skillful enough to say what I'm trying to say. And if you don't get it, or if I read it wrong or whatever, just ask and I'll answer. Here it goes. I have been preaching that race is a social construct for a long time. It is used to keep people divided so that they are so consumed with it, with said idiocy, that they fail to realize the real enemy, an economic system dependent on the ignorance of the masses, as the raceless capitalists laugh themselves to the bank. Notice what I call them, the raceless capitalists. Continuing. Most consider our reigning tick, President Donald Trump, the thug in chief, that's what thick is, a racist. Yet, Steve Harvey and Kanye West have no problem being in his presence. Have Oprah Beyonce or P. Diddy use their platform to effectively fight this tick who is a clear and present danger to people of color? And by the way, yeah, Jay-Z did a song, and 4 lines of the song kind of had a little critique of Trump when Trump critiqued him for supporting Donald Trump. For supporting Hillary Clinton. But you know what that was? That was 2 different factions fighting over which part of the plutocracy is going to get support. So that those 4 lines that Jay-Z had in that song didn't mean diddly squat. What's happening today? The big shots, the big money people, the big black money people. Oprah Winfrey, Beyonce, Kanye, all these folks that are worth $200 million plus. Still his buddies, you know. You don't hear them saying, even Whoopi, in as much as she's put him down and all that sort of stuff, there's a certain amount of caveat in the way it's done. Right? So, I use a common phrase throughout many of my episodes in Politics Done Right that says something similar to the following. When we unite the barrios, the ghettos, and Appalachia, is when we, the poor and the middle class, take what is rightfully ours, the economy of this great country. Until then, we are in the trap of the plutocracy. I want you to understand that. Appalachia is that strip of lands from northwestern Pennsylvania all the way down into Alabama, and I think it touches pieces of New York as well, if I recall. You don't see that on TV a whole lot. You don't see that area on TV a whole lot. But it has a whole lot of similarities with urban areas. And a lot of the diseases, the diseases, both social and otherwise, are found in that strip. It shows that all these types of social diseases and physical diseases as well are of socioeconomic in nature and nothing else. Not what the plutocracy would have you believe. So when you learn all of that, you realize, oh my God, we are all the same and we react the same to externalities. Because you know what? We're human and race is stupid. Okay? It is a stereotypical statement, but the message is clear. The masses, irrespective of race, have just about everything in common. Yet, the plutocracy injects divisions with misinformation that have disparate groups fearing each other or blaming each other for their problems. We create all kinds of things. There's white privilege, there's redlining, there are all of these things that have been put out by the plutocracy. Even white privilege is put out by plutocracy, right? Redlining, where people were suppressed, the plutocracy. Jim Crow, plutocracy. Okay? We have to get this internalized and realize why these divisions are there. So, yet the plutocracy injects divisions with misinformation that have disparate groups fearing each other or blaming each other for their problems. Of course, their problems are a direct result of an extractive economy that just wants their indentured servitude. The Powell Manifesto was, in fact, very effective. I've spoken about the Powell Manifesto several times on my program. There's a link to it in this article as well. Or you can go to egbertowillies.com and just search for Powell Manifesto or Powell Memo, and you'll get it. Senator Elizabeth Warren recently proposed the Accountable Capitalism Act. It sent the titans of finance into a fit. I mean, a huge fit. The talking heads on CNBC, they were in a virtual panic as they attacked her. Oh my God, she's destroying capitalism. She's doing this, she's doing that. But we all knew the truth. That was a minor change, something that is done very effectively in Germany. A minor change to the way we structure our boards. That's all she was asking for. Nothing close to what real progressives want. Nothing close to that. But they exploded. They couldn't take it. They attacked her. Oh my God. Now, one would think that one of the most wealthy black capitalists, Robert L. Johnson, would remember that there was a time that people of color were not chosen to join that club. And yes, I said chosen. Anyone can be a free enterpriser based on their desire to work, create, and innovate. I digressed a bit because what I want to say is I was a free market person. I have a software company. I sold software to the oil companies and they bought it in galore. If you're pumping gas through a Texaco or whatever, there's a good likelihood some of those pumps are going through ComDRV, this piece of software that I wrote, and some of the hardware that I designed with my good old friend Jerry that pulls that stuff serially via RS-232 into those things. Hey, I did pretty well doing all that kind of stuff. But I always knew that things weren't right. The current system only favors a few and had to change. I gave up everything for that, folks, for this. Been doing this over 6 years full time. Gave it all up for this. You know why? I have a daughter, and I tell you something. When you think about you having it good and every generation coming after the boomers doing worse and worse, if you have a heart, you either have to jump in the game or you either have to support the game. You either jump into the game or you support the game. So those of you who are not there, remember to support the game. Support those of us who are doing this stuff full time now. Make sure that we can continue to do this stuff full time. But anyhow, continuing with Brother Johnson. I'm going to repeat that sentence because I want those who just came in to hear this, and it is very important that they hear this. And folks, if you're just joining us, please share this show. It is very important. If you're just joining us, there's a lot that you missed, but it will be on podcast by the end of the evening, that you can listen to the whole thing. Anyhow, one would think that one of the most wealthy black capitalists, Robert L. Johnson, would remember that there was a time that people of color were not chosen to join the club. And yes, I said chosen. Anyone can be a free enterpriser based on their desire to work, create and innovate. You create a bakery, you create these little shops and so forth, but that's not where our economy is really controlled. That's where we are the ones who generate income for the economy, but where it's run is in the plutocracy. So joining the upper echelons of capitalism, however, requires being chosen by the titans of finance. It is not a democratic process based solely on skills, aptitude, and best developed product, i.e., there were many operating systems that were better than MS-DOS. Their Apple computers are nowhere close to being the best technology, but they were chosen. And it's not the people who chose it. People may think, oh, well, Americans just decided that that's what they wanted and they chose it. No, you were made to choose it. You see, we have to learn the difference between choosing things on our own and having folks have us choose things. And it's ironic because the latter is what happens a whole lot all over the world. We think we have free choice. I've been in some debates with some great, intelligent young people at Starbucks who are exactly talking about this. How much choice do we really have? How much free will do we really have? And I love listening to these young men, young women, because they get it. It is important that all Americans understand these realities of capitalism, lest they continue to make suboptimal choices or lose self-esteem when they see less than the best get footholds in the economy. I repeat, we have so many less than the best out there. So when I talk about doing well, being chosen, a lot of people in America think, well, if you're intelligent and you're willing to work hard, you will make it. Hey, if you're willing to work hard, anybody can live. But if you want to make it, man, you have to be chosen. You have to be chosen. Please remember that. Don't let anybody lie to you about how Bill Gates did it on his own, how Warren Buffett did it on his own, how Jeff Bezos did it on his own, how the Tesla guy, you guys know who I mean, did it on their own. You have to be chosen. Somebody had to be willing to help capitalize Tesla, Elon Musk. So folks, Let's learn. Let's learn. Let's understand how the system works. Robert L. Johnson is the founder of BET, Black Entertainment Television. This capitalist used his station to exploit black people unbeknownst to many, just like reality TV exploits all Americans by creating an addictive product because of a part of our carnality whose curiosity would have us fixate on the depraved. BET was tailored to do that to black people. Okay? Tailored to do that to black people. Thank you, Philip, for telling me about Elon Musk. Thank you so kindly, and as well, Michael Rudnin. So I repeat, Robert L. Johnson is the founder of BET, Black Entertainment Television. This capitalist used his station to exploit black people unbeknownst to many, just like reality TV exploits all Americans by creating an addictive product because of a part of carnality whose curiosity would have us fixate on the depraved. BET was tailored to do that to black people. He should have used that platform, yes, to entertain, but with a more conscious and needed public service component for his base. Look, I love the bump and grind like everybody else, but would have enjoyed a component that helped give more directions on upward mobility and navigating for success. Suffice it to say, he made hundreds of millions with his exploitative process, but even more, somebody else bought BET to continue the destruction and made him a billionaire. Hey, doesn't only take intellect to become a billionaire, man. You know, you just learn how to destroy a group of folk and you can also become a billionaire. Learn how to put crap into people's head and you can become a billionaire. I need you to understand that, people. My dear brothers and sisters, I need you to understand that. It's a game. We win the game when we engage, but we engage after we educate ourselves and understand what's going on. CNBC elicited capitalist Johnson's opinion on Senator Warren's new bill. He did not disappoint them. He came on and equated her bill as tantamount to Marxism. Does he not know that her bill is not all that dissimilar to what's done in Germany? The fact is, their CEOs and executives do not make inordinate salaries and hundreds of times more than their average workers as we do here where unfettered capitalism reigns with a minimal safety net. So here it is. Their big bosses don't get the kind of salaries our big bosses get. First of all, it's undeserved. And at the same time, they have a nice safety net in Germany and all these places so that when you're out of a job, you're not destitute. You don't lose everything. And you can never go bankrupt because of healthcare. Man, how bad is that? You see, we don't want Americans to know that because they may want it. They may want that single payer Medicare for all, which most of these countries have some form of. And if Americans get that, it means those capitalists, they will still be stink rich. Just a little bit of the stench would be gone. But they want all the stench. They want it all. They want it all. So they're extracting it all. And for those of you who hadn't seen my program before, I want to remind you of something, because whenever you're going to listen to folks talk about what we talk about here, oh, democratic socialism is a social. No. When you look up when you look up socialists in the Bible, it's so funny. Not the Bible, the dictionary is so funny. They've made socialist and communist the same word in the dictionary. Look up the two definitions and guess what you see? You notice that they're almost identical in definition. And then they don't even talk about democratic socialism, which is nothing more than democracy with a solid social safety net. Nothing more, nothing less. Social security. Social security. A real social security that works. Social security for health. Social security for education. Social security for being sick. Social security for hunger. Social security. Denmark, Norway, None of those people are running to come to the United States to live in our great capitalist haven. They understand that capitalism is a tool and that's how they use it. And their productivity is higher. Their people are happier. And, you know, the lies that we tell over here that people tend to believe are just that. And that's why there's a politics done right. To remove those lies from our lexicon and to make sure we understand better. Finishing the blog. Our form of capitalism corrupts one's moral values. It creates a tunnel vision where one forgets their past struggles based directly on the oppressive economic system they have been chosen to join. They are oblivious to the suffering of a large percentage of the masses. These are the same people who don't have a problem saying the 47%. Right now, it's greater than 47%. So there's a research that was done that showed 80% of Americans are a paycheck away from being in financial distress. Hey, that's not a way to live, is it? 80% of Americans at risk because of our current economic model. 80%. And you can't tell me Americans don't like to work. We work very hard. You have bombs that the right will always use as poster childs to show people who don't work. But that's not the majority. You get on the darn freeways in the morning and watch them clogged. You get up in the morning. I get up in the morning, and when I go to the gym, I see my neighbors out riding to work. When I go riding my bike, no matter what type of neighborhood I'm going through, people are getting the hell out of bed and going to work. So working country folk. Don't let anybody fool you. Let's say 5% of the people are slough-offs. I don't think it's that many, but let's just say 5% of the people are slough-offs. Wow. You know, we have a hell of a country, don't we? Anyhow, it is vogue now to concentrate on the racist segment of the Trump supporters. Those are the ones I am least concerned about. It is those who don't give a damn that should worry us most. They are willing to accept any character or morals in a leader as long as their personal economies benefit orders of magnitude over everyone else. So ends the blog. Look, I have no expectations in changing everybody's heart in time to ensure that all Americans have a good life, that all Americans have a good economy, a good personal economy, so that they can work during their working years and live comfortably during their retirement years. I can't change people's hearts, enough people's hearts. And when I say I, am talking about we progressives. We can't change people's hearts overnight. We can't do all these great things that would be great to do to have people think the right way, to have people say to themselves, oh, I want to be nice. I want to be loving. I want to love everybody. You have to start with yourself, you know. I'm at the point in my life now where I just love human beings, right? I just love human beings. I don't care if you black, white, blue, red, Christian, Muslim, anarchist, whatever, KKK, I really don't care. I love human beings. I have consciously, intentionally, made self love everybody, which makes me able to approach everybody, right? And then work on minds, right? Work on people's minds. Because I understand that whatever people are thinking today, its genesis came from the evil of dead people right now. And they are just the copies of these dead people's evil. When the founding fathers came and decided that slavery was okay, if you continue to revere the founding fathers without qualifications, then it's not as bad as it is. So what I've learned to do is love my people today. I love all my folks that are living today. I thank those who created a society that could marginally change and change largely later. I give them their kudos, but I don't give them the deity that many give them or that some think they deserve. And therefore, you won't see me holding up a constitution saying how great it is. You won't hear me talking about how great our founding fathers were. You won't hear me talk about how great anybody was. Because we're all fallible. And we are all just trying, or many of us are just trying to make things better. And that's what it's all about. Trying to make things better. What I'm going to do right now, and guess what? I am doing it 10 minutes before the show ends. So good this time around, I must say myself. I am going to get to my people as soon as I bring up my Facebook feed on my phone. But folks, do remember this is also a call-in show. So you can call in at 646-716-5812. Again, that number is 646-716-5812. Let me repeat one more time. 646-716-5812. Why don't you give me a call if you want to add to the discussion, or if you want to change the discussion, or if you want to tell me something I don't know, or if you want to ask me something. We're all ears here, and we love to hear from you, because you know what? Like I've always said, this show is not mine. This show is yours. And why is it yours? Because if it's mine, I'm not doing a damn thing. If it's yours, it means that it belongs to you all, and it means that we're doing what we have to do to make sure that we get the message out. And boy, do we need to get the message out, folks. Boy, do we need to get with the program. Okay, what I'm going to do is start loading the program up. Let me try to start from the beginning. Never know where the beginning is. Is it to the bottom or the top? I think this time it has it shorted to the top. So, okay, let me go to the top. We have El Señor Philip Arnanoff. Thumbs up. Great to see you, Egberto. I kind of care what we have, that we have a racist, but I'm interested in hearing why. Well, I think I explained why, because, I'm not going to change the president's heart. So that he's a racist or whatever is immaterial, right? The only thing that matters is policy. What kind of policies is he going to come out with, and what kind of policies we have to ensure that he doesn't effect? Michael Trump is likely to be impeached for foreign bribery. I kind of think he came closer to being impeached. I don't think he's going to be impeached. I think once he sees the tea leaves, he's probably going to resign. And I think that occurs after the election. Right now, the Republicans just have to hold things together for 2 months. They don't want all the chaos until after the election. They want to see if they can somehow magically hold on to the House and Senate. And if they magically do that, then they're going to unload on Trump. And the lovers of Trump, you're going to see how many lovers of Trump turn into haters. And they're going to try to reconstitute the Republican Party. To which what I'm going to tell progressives and Democrats, if you allow them to reconstitute the Republican Party after being a part of the Trump cabal for the last several years, you are guilty of malpractice. Okay, Kathleen Morgan, hello, my friend. Denise Laundrie, hello, my dear. Jay Raymond, how de Oklahoma, welcome aboard. Philip Arnoff, you can find my op-ed in the Houston Chronicle. Philip, I'll be looking for that op-ed in the Houston Chronicle. Michael Rudnin, again, let's see. The Republican Party campaign was undertaken by Alan Vera, chairman of the Ballot Security Committee, and involved in 4,000 addresses. You got that, brother. Arnoff, it talks about my plan on immigration problem. Great, Philip. I'm glad to hear that. Ashley Lupe is amazing. Ashley Miller, you're absolutely correct about that. Michael Rudnin, prevent people from getting the healthcare access they need, depraved heart murder. Absolutely so. Philip Arnoff, I disagree with that. There are healthcare access solutions without the ACA. I wouldn't consider myself to be a murderer. We aren't all the same. My friend, I understand that. I would love to debate you on that. I don't want to call it a debate. I'd like to discuss that with you, because there are certain things about arithmetic that are absolute. I know the way we craft things, because we're a capitalist society, we somehow always craft it through markets, and not only markets, but somehow the infallibility of the market. And that is where I would love to have civil discussions with a lot of folks who just refuse to accept arithmetic when it comes to healthcare. Healthcare is not the same as making a widget and selling it. And that is what we've done in America. We've tried to capitalize on everything. We have tried to make every part of our being a part of the capitalist market, which is the danger, because there are certain things that don't follow that model. There are certain things that can follow that model. There are certain things that we don't care if it follows that model, but there are certain things that do not absolutely belong in that model. And I would be more than happy to discuss that with you, Mr. Aronoff. Okay, Michael Rudnin, speaking of 2016 interstate voter cross-checking, may have purged as many as 7.2 million votes. Amazing. Way to go, Matthew. Okay, Michael Rudnin, you usually save the Sunday Daily Coast articles for Monday. Yes, I usually do, but here's the deal. I don't have a show on actually, not Monday. I usually do it on Thursdays. The last time I did it on Monday, but I normally do it on my KPFT program on Thursday. The thing is, KPFT will probably have to run a rerun tomorrow, so I haven't decided what rerun is going to run tomorrow because I'll be flying to Michigan for the Coffee Party USA board meeting. I'm a member of the board at Coffee Party USA. Actually, I just got a new what they have me doing now is local communities, where I'm going to be using this program as well to build local communities where we get people in just about every single not precinct, but every single district in this country organized and as such. And what we want to do is be a part of that organization. Kathleen Maureen Morgan, welcome aboard, my friend. Okay, let's see. Egberto, you talk about diseases of Appalachia. Figure the desperation which causes spikes in drug use. Absolutely so, Mr. Rudnin. You're absolutely right about the desperation. And what I was trying to explain when I brought in Appalachia, the ghettos and the barrios, is the same desperation that all these communities have are the things that cause them to have the drugs and the alcohol problems that they have, the promiscuity problems, and all these other issues are all the same across the board. We're just human beings. Thank you, Philip, for reminding me, Aronoff. Hey, Elizabeth. Oh, well, you're talking to somebody else. Okay, Berto, did you get a chance to watch the Boondocks episode about BET? I did not, Michael. And, you know, I tell you what, yesterday I had a whole lot doing. I didn't even get a chance to go over all of the notes that I normally go over and all that you guys send me. So, again, if you don't mind, stick it in here again to make it a little bit easier to get to. If you can, I can probably do that on the airplane. Okay, let's see. Having a nation that takes care of its people, a strong social safety net to make sure none of our citizens fall into desperation of poverty would be a great idea. It's not only a great idea, Michael, it's practiced in most industrialized countries. And, you know, it's funny, when these people are rioting around the other countries, right? They're not rioting for the same kinds of things that we're rioting about, you know, because they have, you know, for all practical purposes, they're doing fine whether they're working or not. But and what we have to do is change our mindset. We have to change our mindset. And that's what Politics Done Right and these other programs, you know, on the Turk networks and the Majority Reports and opednews.com, Daily Coast. We're trying, dailycoast.com, coffeepartyusa.com. What we're trying to do is change the mindset of people, empower people, let people understand that, yeah, you know what? We can all do it. We don't have to depend on somebody else to do it. What I need to do right now, though, is go for my ask. This is a progressive show, folks, and we do need your help in order to stay, in order for us to stay alive, in order for us to continue to do this effectively. We need your support, and I need really several thousand supporters. I'm just, we're just starting this because there was a time when I could do all my programming and all my blog writing and everything via ads, because that was lucrative enough that I couldn't live as I did when I owned my software. Well, I still own my software company, but it's on, it's for all practical purposes dead. But I don't make 20% of what I made before on ads. Okay, and period. And when Google and Facebook changed their algorithm, they knocked away 90% of that. So we had to go to a subscription model. Again, so we can't just say, come to our website, make sure to go to our website, because that way we can fund all the progressive things that we want to do. So we had to go to a subscription model. And that subscription model is at patreon.com/politicsdoneright, patreon.com/politicsdoneright. We ask you to go there and support politicsdoneright.com and independent media. As you can see, I fly all over the country doing this stuff. And so far, to be honest with you, the way it's been done is the depletion of one's retirement savings, and we're coming pretty darn close to the end of that right now. So we're asking you to go ahead and support Politics Done Right at patreon.com, patreon.com/Politics Done Right. Let's make people who are willing to throw themselves out there for the progressive movement. Let us continue to work. Let us continue to do what we know we have to do to make a better country. We can only do that if you support us. I mean, the reality is the other side supports bigly. I remember having a prominent Republican here in Kingwood, Texas, told me she had a bad morning. I was like, what you mean? She said, well, I was raising funds today for, all the politicians, etc. I said, good. She said, I only did $5,000 today. I was, what? $5,000 in a day collecting for the Republicans in this year? Wow, one person. We, as progressives, we have problems raising even something that costs $1. I mean, you have to ask yourself sometimes, we are willing to give the plutocracy so much. We can go to the plutocracy and pay them for cable news to misinform us. We can pay them for just about everything to misinform us. We can pay them to entertain us. We can pay them to give us reality TV. Can we at least do a little bit something for those of us who are really out there saying, we're going to empower you, we're going to empower us all, so that we can change this country, so that you can be whoever the hell you want to be, do whatever you want to do, because we're here for you. Patreon.com/politicsdoneright. That is patreon.com/politicsdoneright. Folks, my name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. We will have a rerun of Politics Done Right on KPFT 90.1 FM tomorrow. Friday, there will be no show, but I'll probably butt in from Michigan, telling you a few stories about how things are going or planning for 2018 and beyond. As we plan, we are an organization that does civil work. We try to engage people from all sides of the aisle to get them to come together and do something positive politically. That's what coffeepartyusa.com is all about. In fact, you should become a member of coffeepartyusa.com as well. But I'm asking you right now as well to go ahead and go to patreon.com, patreon.com/politicsdoneright, and be a part of the solutions. Do like everybody else does. On the right, they support those things that they believe in, even though they're extracting from them. And here we are. We want to build folk up. We want you to take what's yours. We want you to take this economy into your hands and say, you know what? I am the worker. I am the one building. It's my intellect. It is what I do. That's what you should be saying. And therefore, you're not asking. You deserve. You're demanding. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. I will be back with you officially live on Monday. Thank you so kindly for listening. You know how I'm going to end this, baby. I am out.
Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is, at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.